What drives me is the capacity or the need for me to want to be brilliant. And where I was working previously, I really couldn't be brilliant in any shape or form. It wouldn't allow me, the organisation structure wouldn't allow me to do that. And so the idea of starting Safety Rocks is to actually try to do something really well. And that was really important, to be able to actually be brilliant as an organisation. So the idea of starting the company and the idea behind it was to take safety to a new level, to try and make it young and funky, and to try and get people to see health and safety in a very different way. You know, we've all had that look when you walk into a room as a tutor, or you're sitting there as a delegate doing health and safety training and thinking, I don't want to be here. I don't want anybody to do that with our tutors, without any shadow of a doubt. The idea behind it is to actually have this kind of bringing safety, bringing people together in order to be able to work together in a safe manner and keeping them healthy. So the idea of that was we educate by informing people, and the information that they get uplifts them in terms of education, and it makes a difference. We know that every piece of legislation that we have in the UK talks about training, but that training quality isn't defined, and actually the quality of the training is really important. If you just literally take one thing from a training session, one thing, that can make the difference between you actually being ill or not ill, hurting yourself or not hurting yourself. So we wanted to do things in a brilliant way. We want to have this mission to do things and give people a boutique service. They get more than they pay in payment, that kind of thing. And we wanted to do things in an excellent way. We want to do all these kind of different things in our mission, and this is part of the organisation. So over the last year, we've really kind of revolutionised the way we communicate with our clients and our partners in order to get them to see what we really are about. And that, again, is one of those kind of fundamentals about what the organisation is driven by. And obviously me as a managing director in the organisation. It really has been challenging, but in different ways at different parts of the timing, throughout the year. So the first part of the year was everybody was very focused on face-to-face training, and all our partners were very focused on face-to-face training. But so were we, because we were servicing their requirements. And so when COVID hit, when the pandemic started, there was this kind of this frozen moment where everything just stopped, and there was a sense of panic. But from that panic comes what we call panovation. So you're motivated by the panic of what occurs. But actually, it has driven, all that negativity has driven a digitisation at a speed that would never have been thought possible before. So we have revolutionised the way we deliver, from operating using a 360 camera, which is amazing. When you're teaching, you can move around the room and still be dynamic like you're in the room, to upgrading the computer systems so that Teams is straight out of the inbox, great for delivery to the clients. Also makes data easier to manage, really important as well. And also the introduction of an online agile on-demand learning platform so that we can develop this truly tailored training for our organisations, our partners, without actually having to be there. And that makes a difference. You can imagine, I was out there, every day of the week, mainly out. And I can't do that now. I literally couldn't do that over the last year. We started to see things change a little bit, but I physically couldn't be out there. So those things are really important. Obviously doing video content, photography, all of those kind of things, lots on social media with LinkedIn and all the other kind of platforms that you use, enable us to get our message out there. And our message is important. I think we bring the kind of health to the health and safety. We expand that kind of part of health and safety, because traditionally, when people talk about health and safety, the majority of the time they're thinking about safety issues. Am I going to fall from height? Am I going to trip over this floor tile? Or something like that. Whereas actually, with all the stuff that's happened with the pandemic as well, people have been motivated to look after their own health in a way that they never would have been before. Like they never would have been. And now people are much more focused on that. But so are employers. They want to keep their staff healthy. Because healthy people are usually happier and they're more productive. So if we can support our partners to do that, then that must be brilliant for everybody all round. And that's part of what we offer, you know, the nutrition, the kind of looking at the health and well-being side of it. And even the examining bodies, you know, they're much more focused on looking at that health side, so using the well-being tree and all those kinds of things. So it enables us to really holistically aid our partners in making their workplaces both safer but also healthier too. So the truly tailored part, I think, is the unique part of the organisation. So lots of companies, when you look around, they'll talk about bespoke training. It isn't really. Whereas we work with organisations to develop long-term partnerships, to get under the skin and to understand their culture. And that culture, these shared aims and values and beliefs of the organisations, they're unique to every organisation. No organisation is the same. And organisations will have challenges. Some of them will be culturally very mature in terms of occupational health and safety, some of them not so. But understanding that is important, so when we write training, it's actually written for that organisation. And that is very different to other organisations out there. And that's how kind of we make an impact. We embed ourselves, almost embed ourselves into those organisations. And it's not a short-term thing. So we don't want to work with an organisation that just wants a one-off training course. What we want to do is work with an organisation to deliver their entire matrices in terms of training. And be able to actually, you know, change, see the change. How pleasing is it for an organisation, for somebody like me, to see a difference, to see people's organisations grow and the people within the organisations grow from learning. That, I think, is a fundamental part of why I do my job. I absolutely love seeing people grow.